Hi, welcome to Mid Chaos. I'm Shy.
I'm Kyle.
And it's chaotic because we go from one conversation to the next in the midst of having the first one. But we'll try to get back to the main topic eventually.
We probably won't, but that's fine.
We'll see. All right, so what are we talking about?
We are actually going to talk about the Amazing Digital Circus a little bit because I've been watching it and I just made Shy watch the first episode so that she had the vaguest idea of what's going on. She's not seen all the rest of it. And as of this recording, episode 6 has only just dropped. So I've just dated this episode.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I dated it too in our last episode when I was talking about the topic because it just ended this week. So I've dated so we've already dated it, so it's fine.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Well, the difference is that your show just completely ended. This show
started.
Actually, this show's been running for 2 years almost.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's only got 6?
It's only got 6 because it takes a long time for them to make everything.
Yeah.
The cool thing of it, though, is that you can go on YouTube and the animators, they're legally permitted to upload shorts of, hey, I worked on this. So you get to see the process as you're doing everything, which is cool.
So it still keeps you engaged.
Very much so.
Which kind of.
And then they just had a vote for the favorite character, which, shocking surprise to nobody, Jax wound up being the number 1, but Pomni came in second, which
she's a relatable character, I feel like. That's why she came in second.
Kinger's highly likable. He's the third most favorite character.
The anxiety
Yep.
piece?
Yes, and you're going to love him in episode 3 when you watch it.
Okay.
Phenomenal episode for him.
Okay.
No, what's episode 2? Sorry.
So the next episode.
I think.
I'll find out. Okay.
Episode 2 is Kinger's episode, and you're going to love him in that episode.
So Pomni was the first episode. He's the second episode. Who's the third episode?
Gangle was episode 3.
Which one's Gangle? The Ribbon?
The Ribbon.
Fourth episode?
Fourth episode is an ensemble.
Okay. Fifth episode is Ragdoll.
And is an ensemble as well.
Oh, I thought you said the Ragdoll was...
Everybody gets a little bit of their background brought up, and we get to learn a little bit more. Is it a little bit of a character dump? Yes, but the way they did it is so beautiful in episode 5. You're gonna love episode 5.
Okay.
And then episode 6 is chaotic energy of Pomni basically learning the rules and logic of the real world do not apply to this world.
You kind of can see even at the end of this one, because the gesture, they smile, whatever, you kind of see her just kind of cracking already. Just you know what, this is just...
She was cracking from the moment she got there.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but when she was running into the maze, the exits like that, her teeth got sharp because she kind of went crazy for a second as she kept going. And I was I thought I was going to see more of that to where she kind of lost it more, but it didn't. They kind of pulled it back.
They do a good job with pacing this series.
Yeah.
I appreciate it the way they've done it.
Because I did like seeing that scene where she was running in there and then she starts losing her mind and her teeth got sharp, she was going crazy, and then it went away.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
the voice actors are so good in this.
I really like the voice actors. Like I said, I like the rabbit because
everybody loves the rabbit.
I do. I like the rabbit. So that's why I was like, oh, your voice reminds me of Angel,
and which turns out it's the same voice actor.
Yeah, it turns out it was the first one that he was the voice for. So I was like, okay, checks out.
Yep, he voiced the pilot for Angel Dust for
Hazbin Hotel.
Thank you, Hazbin Hotel. So that's why he sounds familiar, because it's the same voice actor.
Yeah, I like his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've said this a lot with animations. A voice can make or break a character, and
absolutely,
all the voices for these characters fit the character.
I really
the
like
cadence
Zuba's
and everything.
Voice actor a lot. I don't know who she is, but I like her a lot.
Who the Mismatch piece?
Yes, the Mismatch. Okay. Yes,
piece one.
Yes.
I don't know.
I really like her.
There are certain things, which is crazy because we were just talking about pacing on certain things and taking a long time for it, and you better make it worth it.
Yep.
This is one of those things because you're still talking about it, and they keep it engaging.
They do.
To where even if you
got it very engaging. From episode 1, they were like, "Here's all the merch you can buy." They keep it very engaging.
Well, and it's one way to keep people interested in it and keep people still active and interacting with it. Our other episode, I don't know which one's going to come out first, this one or the other one, but we were talking about Wednesday with the splitting and splicing of it, and they're thinking of keeping it engaging. This is how you do it. You said how many years they've been working on this?
So far, it's been running for almost 2 years.
2 years with only 6 episodes, but they've kept it engaging, and their audience didn't leave because they still were doing things to keep people interacted and, interested in it.
There's also little shorts and stuff that occasionally pop up once in a while, too.
Yeah.
And then they just ran a contest for the most popular character, which somewhat helped them determine who the teams were going to be in the team challenge in this most recent episode.
Okay.
Somewhat. Not entirely, because not everything matched up perfectly, but somewhat.
Oh, okay. And we should have known in this first episode because I literally said it in the beginning. I said, "What's that disclaimer?" And you said because he's not there, and then we find out that. So that was I like the little.
Yeah, I wasn't about to
hints and
spoil
stuff.
that for you because that was a major plot point.
Yeah,
for him.
I immediately
It's
went.
just-
I was like, "Why is that a disclaimer?"
Yeah,
it was like,
well, I was just answering because I know that was in very small print. It's like it says Kaufman was not available for recording this
particular
thing.
But the fact that like I clocked it right then, I was like, "Where's that character at?"
Yep.
And then later on, and then you find out
that he abstracted in first episode.
Yeah. And then you find there's a lot more of them down there underneath the floor.
Yep.
So
there's even more mystery going on that you'll find out at the end of. It was definitely at the end of episode 5, I think. It could have been episode 4. I don't remember. But there's even more mystery that's being gradually revealed periodically. So we're going to be learning a lot more. I don't want to go too much in detail, but there's definitely something going on in the background. People are trying to figure out if Jax is a double agent right now.
The rabbit?
Yep. They're trying to figure out if he's a double agent and is part of
the circus.
Part of the circus, if he's even a real person.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, is the bubble an actual person, or is the bubble part of the system?
The bubble is definitely part of the system.
So again, it goes back to what you said. Is he part of the system, or is he actually a person that's been trapped in there?
Yep. That's one of the going theories. I don't really care for that theory.
I like it if he was actually not part of the circus, but like a person trapped too.
Yeah.
But it's given, what is that weird, the teddy bear, the black and white teddy bear, when all the students are killing each other?
The Danganronpa.
Given that kind of vibes a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I have a theory of my own. I think that there is someone behind the strings of Cain. I don't think he's actually just a part of the system as he claims, going off of what we've seen so far. I think that from what we get from episode 2, we learn quite a bit about Kinger's background. And as such, I think Kinger is an unwitting pawn, possibly, or that this person playing King is also like pulling the strings of Kinger in the background, and it's the same person but playing two different characters. Is
Kinger the chess piece?
Chess piece, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think that there is more to him than that, and I'm curious to see if he's going to wind up being a double agent himself instead, and that his entire persona of anxiety is fake.
I mean, because the puzzle piece one, the one that just has different parts.
Yeah.
Even she said it. She went, "I thought you'd be the one to go before anyone else." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." You know, so it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm still here."
Yeah.
But you are the most anxiety ridden out of everybody. So if anyone was going to lose their minds, it would be you.
Yep. But the stability of him, I can't help but have it in question. Guys, so far they have laid groundwork throughout episodes that explain why he is the way he is, and that the darkness helps to keep him calm. I have this gnawing feeling in the background of my mind that tells me there's more to him than just the bits and pieces of information we've given, and that there's someone who's pulled them in somehow, some way. I don't know how yet.
It's giving Sword Art Online with the headsets that you can't take off.
That's very much part of the inspiration for sure. But then I get this feeling that there's a real person behind Cain, and that he's definitely lost his mind and he's just pulling all these strings. But then I almost feel like he's also the same person behind Kinger. And it's a crapshoot of a theory if there ever was one, but it's just the thought process that I had going on in my head that Kinger is more so faking his crazy, and it's all just an act, which I'd hate to see that, because honestly, I really love what they're doing with Kinger as a character. We're really seeing him find stability with Pomni, because Pomni seems to be acting very much as almost like a sister to him in a way, particularly with an upcoming episode where they wind up getting stuck together, and it just where we get so much of his background, so much information, and then Pomni just seems to help be a stable connection.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like if that's the case, then it'd be kind of like everything is uncertain, but at least they're certain in this one person.
Yes.
But it's also, even if it's like how you're getting with Kane, and like, yeah, he could be another person that's trapped in there, and he's just been like, you know what?
I don't think he's trapped in there. That was the thing. I think he's some mastermind pulling all of this stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is, if he was once pulled in there and trapped in there, and then made a deal with whoever's actually running it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. There's that possibility. But from what we get as far as background for Kinger, which I'm trying my best not to spoil anything for Shy because she's only seen episode 1. It's not fair to her to spoil everything. So it's like some whole fun out of this. For
I won't watch it. If you tell me everything about something, I won't watch it until like a long time, and I forgot about it, and then I stumble. I'm like, I remember this, and then I start watching. I'm like, oh.
And and the entire point of the show is to figure out the mystery behind what's happening, how they wound up here, this, that, and the other. I also have another going theory right now that it's actually the 90s, and you get that from a few reference points coming off of Kinger.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that computer in episode 1.
Yeah, that was back.
Very 90s looking.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
And then the circus itself, it looks very much like those point-and-click adventure type of thing. So I think they're sucked into a point-and-click adventure game in the 90s. I think it is the 90s. And if it is somehow maybe the early 2000s at the absolute most, but it's definitely not like set in modern times.
What if it's set into a sense of like they're all from different decades?
That's a very good possibility too, because you heard in episode 1 that they've been stuck there for years, but they don't specify how many years.
Because we've been here for years.
But Kinger does make some references in a later episode to some video games that were released in the early 90s.
Well, my thing also is none of them remember their names, so how would they know the year?
They remember all of their they remember what they did when they were humans. They remember pretty much everything but their name. I don't know why just their name has been forgotten, but they remember their backstory, which you're going to find out more in episode 5, which is why I'm not going to spoil that for you. Because aside from what we get in episode 2 for Kinger, we learn about Ragatha's past. We learn about Zubal's past. We learn a little bit more about Gangle's past, which we learn a good chunk of her past in episode 3. Yep. Jax is the only one where we don't get anything, and that's because he's intentionally
being elusive, misleading, not saying, hey, this is what happens with me, this, that, and the other, which has led people to think he's a double agent. But with this most recent episode, that's going up in the air now. So who knows? Don't know. I hope that didn't spoil anything for you. I don't think it did. But with the most recent episode 6 as of this recording, that's thrown everything out the window for Jackson. Now we're trying to figure everything out all over again. And I was like, never mind. We thought we had something there, but we didn't.
But the issue being is now people, I think, weren't wholly expecting it, but at the same time were, because there's so many theories going on right now.
But that keeps it going. That keeps the interest, and that keeps the engagement going. If you're actually interested in the story, you don't give too much away. Give enough to keep them, like, just dangle it, you know? Just dangling from.
And I haven't heard anyone talk about theorizing the time frame. I really think we're set in the 90s somewhere.
Well, because I mean, the Office, when she was running through in the first episode, it was just like, no.
That computer is old. But then we also learned some more information about Pomni's past in that same episode. It'll be at the bar scene, so you'll see that. It'll be. I don't think that's spoiling anything for you.
No, I don't even know what the bar scene is.
Yeah, so you'll find out more, and then that'll get you thinking and theorizing. Like, okay, so which is it? And now my time theory thing could be thrown out the window just as easily. So it's just a thought process right now for: are they set in the 90s or are they set in modern day? Because no, they couldn't be set in the 90s because they straight up make a reference to uploading videos online onto YouTube. So it has to be set in the modern day. But at the same time...
When did YouTube come around? Wasn't it early 90s, 2000s?
YouTube officially came around in 2006.
Yeah, so...
So it could be mid-2000s. It could very well be mid-2000s. But I don't know. I'm just...
I mean, it's interesting enough.
if Kinger's been stuck there for that long, though, with the references,
Was he the first one there, though? They said he's been the longest.
He's the oldest one there.
They said that he's been there the longest, is why he's closer to losing his mind than everybody else.
But they haven't said exactly. But
and my thing is, what's the difference between, he's been there the longest, but how long did it take before another person showed up?
Well, for Kaufmo to have abstracted and then Pomni to show up, that's been maybe within minutes or hours of the time difference so far from what we can gather up. But what we don't know is, because we haven't figured it out yet with another character coming in, we'll find out if whenever the next person abstracts, whether it's immediate, if there's a time frame between it, if the character is going to be similar as a person or in relation in some way or somehow. Because we've got that connection of Kaufmo being a clown, Pomni being a jester, two sides of the same coin. But we'll see in the background, or if you had paid attention to those doors at all with those characters, you had multiple different kinds of characters.
That's what I was saying. That's what when you were showing it to me, I started listening to what they were saying, but not really listening to what they were saying, because I was looking at the background. Some of them had X's, and then next thing I know, that same exact person that had an X, there was another door that looked similar to them. I'm like, okay, why do they have multiple doors? Like the one, the Kinger, what his name is? Kinger. There was one that had an X over it, but then it showed where it didn't. And I'm like, was that the same person or was that someone different? So it's almost as if they're just replacing them.
Yeah.
With slight variations. Because no, that's the main thing, that hall, walking down the hall scene, I wasn't really listening to what they were saying, because I started paying attention to the background. So I was like,
pay attention to the background a lot.
Yeah, because I was like, why is it some doors had exits, like X's over them, and some didn't? And then the ones that had X's over them look similar to the characters that were already there.
Yep.
And then because you see the X, and then you see their door.
But unfortunately, even that theory gets thrown out the window a little bit because of more information you're going to learn in later episodes.
Mm. So but you see how long that hallway was, so you see how many that should have been there, and then you see when he opens that sinkhole how many are down there.
And then you'll notice, if you pay more attention to that door hallway scene, that there are little mannequins, like My Little Mannequin thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, some of them none of those have X's through them, so I'm thinking those are all blank doors. I'm thinking. But it could be something else. I don't know.
I kind of thought they were blank doors when I saw that, because even when he was in that restaurant, only person that was a character was him in that bubble. Yeah. Everyone else was blanks, just puppets.
Exactly, which makes me also wonder, are any of these characters even human, or have they just had
their puppets,
their pasts thrown
into these
them
models?
As memories, rather, as created memories, as opposed to being real.
Actually there.
Yeah, so they may not even be human. We may be finding that these characters aren't even human, and it's all just game data and stuff.
But my thing too is, like, when she was pulling on her face and pulling her eye out, did she not feel that? But she felt when that door kept popping her in the face. She said, ow.
Yeah.
So when she was doing this to herself, she didn't feel it. But then when she was trying to open all these different doors and the boxing glove kept hitting her, she literally went, ow. So, like, can you not feel it when you're inflicting the pain on yourself, but it's something else?
I don't know. I that's a very good possibility, because I don't know if you've ever scratched yourself and just scratched yourself a little too hard by accident or whatever. It doesn't feel the same as if someone else were to scratch you.
Yeah. Well, because it's your brain knowing that you're doing something. It's just...
so you have more control over yourself in terms of how intense you do.
Yeah, but she literally tried to rip her eye out of her socket. That should have still hurt.
I would think so, but at the same time, with how animated the physics are, everything goes out the window on that too.
Yeah.
So... I love how animated it is, though. They do a great job.
I did like it. I did like the vibes of it.
And it feels appropriately textured and stuff, so that it feels both old and modern at the same time.
Yeah. And the part that they disclaimer, this is child friendly for everyone. We're blocking up the cusser. Like, she tried to cuss every time she looked around, and then the bar would just come across like, nope.
Oh, Gooseworks, the person who's created this one, has basically said, no, this is not for kids. And all the voice actors have also chimed in and be like, no, this has never been for kids. No. So it's on you, and we're not taking responsibility for your failings as a parent.
For you not monitoring what your child is watching.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because they was like, no, we're child friendly, and then there's a...
That in and of itself was just a joke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's funny because they was like, we're not for children, but yet the first episode goes, we're child friendly. No, you're not.
Well, I think the reason for them claiming child friendly is purely because it is supposed to be like one of those. You remember Putt Putt and all of that stuff from the 90s when you were a kid and whatnot? Putt Putt Goes to Mars or whatever. That's what they're pulling from.
Oh, that sounds familiar, but I don't think I watched it.
Well, it's one of those old point and click adventure games from the 90s and mid 90s. So that's what they're clearly pulling from inspiration wise. But then obviously this is kind of like, here's the background of what happens when your characters that you're playing as in the game aren't being currently played. Kind of sort of thing, you know?
Kind of, I get it. Isn't it kind of like
Wreck-It Ralph?
I was about to say like Wreck-It Ralph. How when you're not playing, what are they doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. So there's very clearly a lot of inspiration going on behind this. It's very well paced, I think.
And nothing felt rushed or anything in that episode.
Nope. And you're going to find that with every episode, it's the same way where the pacing's very good. The character development is really good, and it gets better with every episode. I think with the drop of episode 6, it's probably one of the best the episodes has looked because I think they did a little zhuzhing up on the graphics a little bit. So, I don't know. I just noticed it at the top of the episode where it just looked even more detailed than what it has. Yeah.
I don't know. Budgets are budgeting, you know?
Yeah. Well, I also know that you're not into watching shows that take a long time to get out there. So the fact that episode 5 and 6 released only a month apart from each other as opposed to they've had upwards of like 6 months in between. It's one that I feel like you're probably not going to watch more for a little while. But at the same time, you'll be kind of waiting on bated breath to see that next episode because everything up to this point has been really good.
Well, I mean, it's also kind of goes back to if a show leaves me like on a cliffhanger or something, I've been spoiled with streaming because, you know, it's just the next episode, next episode.
And going back to my whole issue with Netflix.
Yeah. And I will wait for a whole show or at least a couple episodes. If I know it's a long series, like this one that we talked about earlier, Revenge Love, if you haven't seen it, go ahead, check that video with me, just ranting and raving about these characters because they are amazing. 25 episodes. I waited. They did 2 episodes a week, so I did like that.
2 episodes. Wow.
They did 2. They did very much so. And this last run, it was an episode a day. So you know,
you really got spoiled.
Exactly. And the concern was, oh God, what's happening? Is this a good thing? But everyone's like, chill out. It was good. It's fine. Just marketing. I was like, okay, cool. We're not. They're okay. Granted, that's what we had been asking for because, like I said, the fear of something canceling. All the comments was just like, drop all the episodes at once. Let's just drop all the episodes at once. Please don't do this in case, censorship.
Yeah.
But if it's a lot of episodes, I will wait a little bit and then just kind of binge them up and then wait and binge them up like that.
I would just kind of like to get to see a series that has 65 whole episodes again like it used to be when we were kids.
Like anime or just a show in general?
Anything in general because...
Untamed has 50 episodes.
You just don't get to see that many series that run for that long. Like, that used to be the thing with Disney is it was 3 seasons or 65 episodes. And then the popularity of That's So Raven made them finally break that. And that was the first series to get 100 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But after that, they had a requirement that was set in contract of 3 seasons or 65 episodes, whichever came first.
But either way, I did like, what was this called? Digital Circus?
Amazing Digital Circus.
Amazing Digital Circus. And this conversation has been a circus. We've been everywhere. But at the same time, still talking about on topic. Just different focal points.
Yeah.
But that's what you get when you watch and listening to our videos.
Yeah, but going back, I do have several going theories. I have several ideas. I might compile them into a more constructed thing and just throw my hat in the ring on theory crafting. And we'll see. I don't know. I hate my voice so much. I don't know.
Overall, I like the first episode.
And I am deeply invested.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. I'm ready to see more.
Is it 1 episode a month or just every blue moon?
Just whenever it's ready. Okay. It's literally just whenever it's ready. That's why I told you that it started releasing almost 2 years ago. Because they had the pilot. Then it was like 6 months between the pilot and episode 2. Because it took them a while to, I guess, get it picked up officially. And then, I don't know, I think it was something like 3 months, maybe 4 months between episodes 2 and 3. And then episode 5 dropped last month. And so getting an episode after 1 month for episode 6 is a big deal.
Yeah.
because it's been getting shorter and shorter between wait times. I think episode 3 and 4 only had like 2 months in between.
So it's probably
maybe
it'll get picked up like Husband Hotel did, because you saw the cutoff between
I feel like this is, but I feel like this is more of a the other show. Hell of a Boss. I think this is more of a Hell of a Boss.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you'll get more funding to actually put them out more.
Maybe.
Like faster, but still same quality, but just,
I mean, it is owned by a real company doing their thing. It's just they're doing their thing through YouTube. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know that I'm really liking what's going on. We're getting good backgrounds into each of the characters. I like all the characters. I actually really like Ragatha, despite the fact that almost everybody else hates her. I'm just like, I feel a connection with her as a character because she is a people pleaser. I'm also a bit of a people pleaser to a point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more willing to try to be the person who keeps the peace than to make waves.
Yeah.
So being that kind of person to some degree, and there's both positives and negatives to being a people pleaser, because you can be a people pleaser without it being a traumatic thing based off of your background.
Yeah.
You can be a people pleaser just because you prefer seeing other people happy and that makes you happy. Mm-hmm. That's a positive type of people pleaser. But you can also be a negative people pleaser in that you're doing everything in your power to try to keep the peace with someone and not wind up in an argument.
Yeah, you're not actually solving the problem. You're just trying to skate under it.
Yeah.
So people pleasing to a degree.
It's definitely a mental health condition to some degree if you think about it, because she's having to do everything in her power to circumvent her background.
Well, because I mean, like the first episode, chick, you left me. I mean, she came back, but you left me and then said it was okay. Not really.
Not really.
It was not okay. But at the same time, what could she do? Because she tried to touch you. She started glitching too. So it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do in the situation? So it was one of those, they did talk. So it wasn't just brushed under the rug. Yep. So they did address the situation and they did talk about it, like, sorry, I left. So it was like they talked about it.
And that's the good thing about this show is that they do consistently keep that continuity. So they talk about it in the next episode a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing from the previous episode gets
They don't brush it away.
Nope.
Which, with a lot of shows, not a lot, I guess I shouldn't say it like
in
that.
In episodic shows.
Where they don't talk about it. It just goes away.
Yep.
It goes away. And I'm like, no, let's talk about that. Yep.
And they're good about talking about it, and it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, are we just going to forget that just happened?
It never feels forced.
There's a lot of shows. I keep saying a lot as if but there's quite a few shows that when you're watching them, there are certain things that I'm just like, I get this is fiction and this is not real. Because if this was in the real world, 911, right? But we let it go because, again, it's fake. But it's like, are we not going to address this situation? Or why are we brushing that off? Why are we just ignoring it? Is it going to be brought up later on?
Yep.
No. Hopefully we come back to this. We put a pin in it, but we're going to come back to it. Yep. Because there's some stuff that I'll be watching.
This show is very good about going back and re-referencing things that they've brought up, even if it was just in a passing moment of conversation.
Yeah.
They're very good about it, and it's never forced.
Yeah, it's everything is a little bit more natural when it's not forced, and it flows a little bit more. Because if it feels forced, I'm just like, you're not really into it. That this whatever scene, whatever dialogue we're talking about, you're not really into it.
Wednesday.
And we kind of can, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that.
It's so forced in so many areas.
Yeah, so it's when a show flows naturally, when the characters and the actors seem natural in their setting, it just does so much more to the show for you as a viewer, which it's one of those just it can make a good script, and dialogue can make or break a show too. Acting is a plus, but if you have good actors but the story is garbage, I feel bad for the actors
because
they're trying their hardest, but it's a sinking ship and you need to abandon it. And which kind of leads me to another show that I watched. I dropped it after 3 episodes because the first 3 episodes was good. And then after that, I was like, there was a lot that was cut out. Oh. And the editing was just not good. It went from 45 minutes to 20, 30-minute episodes. And I went, just scrap the show. You should have just tossed the show. If y'all weren't going to actually stick to the story, You should have just tossed it because there's so much dialogue, there's so much backstory that we're not getting. Whereas, like you said, with the digital circus, they at least take their time, just like, hey, this is what this person is doing, or this person looked a little weird, and they kind of address it a little bit in the next episode. So
and the episodes are the length they need to be. They're not restricted to a 22-minute time frame. This most recent episode that just dropped is 34 minutes long.
Yeah, so it's literally like a TV show series episode.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, I felt I was so irritated because I was like, oh, I was giving this new group of actors that I had never seen before. Because normally I stick to my tried and true. If I know you and I know your work is good, I watch your stuff. And so I'm trying to branch out more with watching different actors. But it's like, I was so disappointed because, one, this is like maybe their second series that they've ever done. And it was terrible.
That's never good.
It was terrible, and it was nothing on them. It was just the script and how it was done.
But it always winds up getting reflected onto the actors.
Yeah, and it was not them. And so I was like, you should just scrap the show. You should just scrapped it and just not aired nothing. Because the first 3 episodes was good. The story was good. The plot was good. The mystery was there, right? He was like, ooh, what's happening here? Ooh, what's with this character? Ooh, what's happening here? And then it just unraveled to the point, and it got you to, like how you were saying with the chess piece. Like, is he like the double agent? What's going on here? Maybe, maybe not. And we don't know yet. It was given the same vibe in the show. It was like, okay, are you actually sane or are you crazy?
I think the king is going to be an unwitting pawn.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I think that's literally some visual storytelling that they're doing, making the king chess piece the unwitting pawn.
Well, isn't the queen over the king piece anyway?
In terms of strength and power, but the king is the one you have to take out in order to win the game.
That's true. But like I said, like, that could be the take they take with this, but at least the story is only 6, but it's like the story is still enough to where he's like, okay, you still kept me interested. You're still showing and developing these characters and developing this world. Yep. Whereas this show, after the 3rd episode, it just fell off. I was like, what? And then the dialogue didn't make sense. So you know where they were splicing and cutting and I was like, when did that conversation happen? And it wasn't like, oh, it just happened off the scene. No, like literally the train of thought of this conversation that they're having makes no sense. Yeah. It makes 0 sense. And then, because it had a good plot where he was like, okay, is this character that's seeming all sane and everything, are you really psychotic? Like, are you really crazy? We never got that. It just kind of kumbaya at the end, and it's like, which, by the way, I just skipped to the end. I didn't watch it after the 3rd episode because I was like, after the 3rd episode, I watched the 4th episode, and I was like, okay, now we're gonna probably get into a little bit more world building, a little bit knowing more about the characters, and no, there was so much potential for that show. I'm not even gonna bother naming it. There was so much potential for that show, but it fell off and I was disappointed, which again is why I normally stick to certain actors that I'm familiar with. Nothing against the actors. This literally, the script was trash. And I've come across that a couple times with shows that I've watched, where the script and the acting just seemed awkward. And I'm like, I'm awkward watching this. Like, the weird pauses, which I think if we mentioned this before, another one, just the weird awkward pauses, and then
we did. We talked about that last time, I think.
Yeah, that still gets me, and I'm just like, I feel like you're emphasizing just a little too much right here when it's not necessary. Like it just it looks like a stage play. Yeah. It looks like a stage play than the budget that y'all got for this show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, a kabuki stage play could be a lot of fun, but hey, you at least know what you're going into.
This person trips, right? They trip, they stumble, right? Yeah. Oh my God, are you okay? They just stumbled. Knock it off. What are you doing?
It's not you just died or almost died.
Yeah, like they stumbled and they caught themselves. Oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you sure? Wait, stop. Like that overacting, in certain things that's not needed, that gets on my nerves so bad. Yeah. And that can also happen with animations. So the voices matching the characters and the moments flows really well.
They genuinely animate digital circus to the voice actors, which is as you should do. You should get the voice work first and then animate around it, because then you can get the genuine reactions in according to the way they sound, as opposed to having them trying to match what they're doing. Yeah,
which is what happens a lot with dubbed and subbed. Is when you watch it subbed, that scream, that angst, you feel it because it's the original language. But then when dubbed, sometimes it flops.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't give me. They're screaming. It's a guttural scream that's happening. And I'm not talking about like a campy show, because sometimes campy, you know, they do that like, ah.
Campy can be fun, yeah.
You know, like the character's like this, but the voice is going out, ah. Not that. I'm talking about genuine like emotions happening in this moment, and I'm not getting it from you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked it for what it is, because I do like when the voices and everything, the actors kind of mesh together, and the story doesn't feel rushed, but doesn't feel like it's dragging either.
Nope.
So it keeps you entertained. So yeah, no, the first episode was good.
Yeah, and you're really going to enjoy the rest of this. I really think you will. I have not found a single episode yet where I'm like, well, that was a waste of the last 20 to 40 minutes of my life.
I feel like it's going to be how it was when Hell of a Boss first came out, because they did pause. It was a pause before they continued on. And when it came back, I picked it up. It's just so much has been going on that in the lore. For me, I was like, okay, there's a bit much going on. Just kill off the dang wife already. Have they killed her off? Does anyone know? Because his ex-wife needed to go, along with her brother.
She's dead.
They need to kill her. I mean,
It's been a long time since I last watched this show, so I don't remember if she's dead, but I don't think she's dead.
They need to kill her and her brother. They need to kill them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of enjoy that they're overly dramatic a little bit.
I just need her to go. Well, no. I like their drama, whatever, but I'm needing. Everyone's talking about how toxic Blitz and they can't heal if they got this freaking sore on them.
Yeah.
Get rid of her.
Yeah.
Get rid of her already. But again, I haven't seen her in a while, so she could more than likely be gone. I just don't know.
I don't remember.
Overall, I do like the show. I will try to continue watching the rest of it. But again, it's probably going to be like Hell of a Boss, where I finish watching all of them and then forget about it until something comes up.
I can always remind you.
Yeah.
Or you can always subscribe to the channel, and that way you know up ahead of time.
When it comes out?
Yeah.
I've subscribed to Weird Things.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.